Hello there, BoBo the Bitcoiner is back. Today I'm going to answer a question which is commonly asked. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto and where is he now? The answer is nobody knows. Whether is he a male, he or is a she, or even a they, who knows? Chances is he's a male because the programmers in the early days are majority male. Is he a Japanese? Who knows? What we know is he invented the Bitcoin network. Basically, it started off from the concept of a computer game, but twisted with currency in mind. It came into prominence exactly during the 2008 financial crisis in America. Satoshi definitely upset with the manipulation of the Wall Street and the Federal Reserve, which basically is run by the bankers, humans in other words. That's why in his first message, when he mined the first block in the network, he included the message quote, "The Times," that's a British newspaper, "The Times, 3rd of January 2009, Chancellor on the brink of second bailout for the banks." Later on, he also said the root problem with conventional currency is all the trust that is required to make it work. The central bank must be trusted not to debase the currency. But history of fiat currency is full of breaches of this trust. Bank must be trusted to hold our money and transfer it electronically, but they lend it out in waves of credit bubbles with barely a fraction in reserve. His other famous quote is, "Lost coin, Bitcoin, only makes everyone else coin worth slightly more." Think of it as a donation to everyone. Good thing, huh? Another quote, with currency based on cryptographic proof, without to trust the third-party middleman, money can be securely and transact it effortlessly. Okay, back to the concept of the computer game. The players are rewarded with point in the computer game, right? Or token when achieve a certain milestone. So when a CPU solves an algorithm puzzle in the Bitcoin ecosystem, that CPU is rewarded by the network with token, now known as Bitcoin. The block reward initially was 50 Bitcoin per after solving one block of 1 megabyte. Satoshi must have mined maybe 1 million Bitcoin in the first few months of experimentations. Not surprising. This is the only way to protect the ecosystem, since miners play a big role in the security of the blockchain. And consensus in those days, not too difficult to achieve because of smaller group of people in the game. It can be compromised, right? Because of the smaller group of people. Today is not, because too many. Because Bitcoin in those days is literally of no monetary value at that time, he may not bother to keep all the privacy or private keys safely. And some could have been lost forever. When you change your computer, like what we normally do, upgrading, throw away the old hard disk. Satoshi is not just a normal human being, but incredibly gifted. He could not expect the network to grow so big, so fast. That is why today Bitcoin have this scalability problem, limited by the 1 megabyte block. Satoshi is an inventor who gave the blockchain and Bitcoin technology away for free. He handed us a valuable weapon against the financial and social injustice. He's not just a wise man, but incredibly noble. He invented the system, stayed away, and let the whole ecosystem revolve around his good deeds. His good deed, like a arbiter. His aim is to provide an alternative channel for everybody to flourish under a truly globalized and populist approach of financial assertion and transparency paradigm. The genius of his design has multiple new revolutions that until then nobody is able to overcome, such as Byzantine generals problem, no centralized database, not possible to double spend, mathematically limit the number of token generated, set in stone cryptographic network, and automatically adjust the difficulty, the parser difficulty, to ensure that 1 megabyte block transaction is mined in about 10 minutes. But then why did Satoshi has to disappear? Well, we need to go back to history. A resident of Hawaii named Bernard Van Nothaus created a private currency in 1998, which he named Liberty Dollar. The currency flourished for a while, but its minting operation was eventually raided by the FBI and the Secret Service in 2007. Following a criminal proceeding in 2009, the currency was shut down, with Nothaus found guilty of creating a private coin or currency system to compete with the official coinage and currency of the United States. At around that time also, someone came up with a digital gold called e-gold concept. By 2004, it reaches 1 million accounts. From 2006 to 2008, U.S. Treasury prosecuted e-gold under the U.S. Patriot Act for not having money transmitter license. Even though e-gold was told earlier that they did not fall under the definition of money transmitter. So e-gold status as a controversial alternate currency make it an attractive target for the US. The US government will never allow anyone to challenge the US dollars. US the Justice Department indicted e-gold directors on 4 counts of violating money laundering regulations and knowingly allowing e-gold transaction to purchase child pornography. A standard accusation against any US dollars competitor. Money laundering lah, dark underground web lah, drugs lah, pornography, etc. So in July 2008, the company and its 3 directors entered into a plea agreement. In November 2008, Douglas Jackson was sentenced to 300 hours of community service, $200 fine, and 3 years of supervision, including 6 months of electronically monitored home detention. Jackson brother Reed and e-gold director Barry Downey were each sentenced to 3 years of probation, 300 hours of community services in order to pay $2,500 each, a fine and $100 assessment. You know, in the US, if you illegally transmit money without a license, it's a very serious crime. You can spend years and years in prison. But e-gold directors were let off with very light sentence. All the government want to do is you plead guilty, stop the operation, and US dollar is not threatened. So when the FBI called up the chief developer of Bitcoin network for investigation and questioning in 2011, Satoshi then decided he better leave the scene. Otherwise, his Bitcoin innovation will never see the day, as with the previous inventors. Nobody know what FBI questioned the chief developer about. It was speculated that the developer explained, oh, it's just a computer game and Bitcoin is of no monetary value, you know. And probably FBI does not even understand the technology of this ecosystem back then. Even until today, the federal government is still not able to apprehend this technology. That's why they don't even know how to regulate it. After a few years of assistance, Bitcoin network grew to a few 100,000. Of course, by today it's few millions. By then, it is impossible for US government to exercise authoritative control. Not possible, too many. How to go after the a few 100,000 or millions of nodes in a Bitcoin network? Moreover, there's no head of the Bitcoin network, no administrative body, not even a group of people for the government to go after. How how to go after the node, all the computers system in the network. That's why today, no government anywhere can influence, censor, or stop Bitcoin network. Even if a government were to stop the internet, Bitcoin can still transact through satellite and radio wave. It is unstoppable. Yes, some speculated at the extreme, a government can pass a law that if you own any crypto, you go to jail. Serious, right? Well, you think this law will be accepted by the free people today? At the extreme, America may impose it to safeguard their US dollar reserve currency, but not the whole world will cooperate. Most countries need newer technology for doing things to improve their citizens' livelihood, to do better, more advanced than another country. That's progressed. If ever a few countries were to ban crypto completely, they will exclude themselves from the global economy ultimately and leave a backward society. Times will tell. Hope I answer the question of where is Satoshi Nakamoto. Hope you enjoy this episode. We see what other question comes up next week, and I will give you another new episode. So, meantime, enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.